Alright, good morning YouTube. Today on Random Acts of Carving we're going to work on a hiking stick. I'm going to do a kind of a simple one today, but hopefully a fun one to carry around in the woods. I'm going to put a little like a whimsical gnome or a forest gnome, whatever you want to call it, hiking gnome, right here on the top of the stick, and got a pretty nice piece of melaleuca from down here in Florida. So this makes real strong, sturdy hiking sticks, so they're not very heavy. So we'll get started and see what we can make. Alright, so I'm starting cutting out the gnome's hat here, and I'm going to kind of outline his body and stuff. Try to get the outline drawn in. I have it drawn on with a pencil a little bit, but I like to just trim in a little bit and see how things are going to fit whenever you start cutting. Sometimes it changes a little bit. You have to move stuff around or make them a little taller, a little shorter, or whatever. Making a hiking stick, I made one of these before and I made his hat pointy on the top, but it made the hiking stick pointy on the top, so I decided on this one here to kind of bend his hat over at the top so it's not so pointy, and it still looks pretty good. So this is just forming that fold in his hat right here a little bit. Here, just bringing in his nose and then trimming around his arms a little bit, just to locate them. That's going to be his little hiking stick in his right hand, and then this is his beard. His left arm. And this arm, he has a little lantern, so that's what this is going to be here. Just kind of outlining it so I can know where to cut around, where his hand's going to be. And that's just an idea where the front of his boots are going to be at. Here I'm just kind of rounding everything off. I got the outline. I'm digging it out with a probably a cuts all bit. I think it's a flame bit. This is the shape they call it, a flame. Just shaping out the hair on his back here a little bit, just making it stand out proud, and then trimming away his, getting down to his jacket and back. And just cutting out his legs and getting some of the wood out around his boots a little bit. Shaping the lantern a little bit more and adding some little glass windows for the light to come out. I started kind of experimenting with some wrinkles in his hat. Wrinkles are fun, but it takes a little practice to get them to look right. So you can put them on there, and when it's still a little bit big, and kind of get an idea of what you want to do. If you don't like it, you can just carve them off again and start all over again. So. Rounding off that big old honker there. You must use sense of smell to navigate around the forest, because they're pretty hard to see through them big wooden hats. I get leave his little hand wrapped around the stick there. Something to hold on to. I was getting ready to do the voiceover. I looked up the facts on forest gnomes, because, you know, being factual creatures, they have a lot of facts. But it was an interesting read, but I'm not going to add too much to it. Just cleaning up his boots a little bit, clearing out that wood between his legs down there, so he can see through, just to make it look like he has legs there. The way that grain's going in the wood, it's still pretty strong right there. It's not real thin. The boots were a little bit too long, so I shaved off probably a 1/4 inch off of the front of his boots. Just to bring him down to the size that I thought his feet should be. There, I was just carving in the back of his jacket a little bit so it looks like that flap's kind of curved out. It looks like a piece of cloth hanging there. So here I took a diamond bit and just cleaning up around his beard and around the stick, just digging the back out there a little bit, adding a little bit of space between the stick and his leg right there underneath of his jacket. As long as that grain's going straight up, you can get away with making a little clearing in between things. It'll still be pretty strong. Finally adding the other little windows on the lantern. Here I'm just taking a sanding drum and just taking some of the roughness off of it. Kind of smooths everything out a little bit, leaving the wrinkles in. You can smooth it all off like this, and it makes it a lot easier to do your finishing details at the end. Starting to add some hair. This little bit, I don't even remember where I got it exactly. It's like a roto zip bit, but it goes to a point. Has a real fine point on it. It cuts really well, and it's good for doing this detail stuff. I can reach really far back in, so I can add the little soles to his shoes back in there between his legs and all around. It makes it easy to reach into places that are really far back. Even add some little wood grain to the stick just to make it look like an old rustic stick. I don't know why that guy keeps putting his thumb in the way. Giving him a couple little short stubby fingers. And this here's a diamond bit also. It has a little flat end on it, almost like a little wheel at the end, and you can cut little grooves with it, and then you can run it down along his beard, and it just look like little hair. You can do real fine cuts with it, and it's easier to cut lines like that the way you want to with a wheel than it is just a tip sometimes. You can make the little hairs go the direction you want them to go. Got them all done. We're just going to add a coat of wax to them. I'm just going to use a little buffing wheel and polish the wax up a little bit. There's what he looks like. Okay, well, we got this one all done. This is a fun little project for a hiking stick. Not super complicated. So if anybody wants to try their hand at carving, that turns out pretty awesome, and it's not super complicated. This one's a neat one to start with. You don't have to add all the little details. You can smooth them out, change them around, add different things to his hands. But it's pretty neat looking when you get them done. So he's ready to go hiking. So anyways, hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and thanks for watching.